It's time for the Charlotte FC podcast.
He's going to get it back. Westwood, rather Vargas, the touch, the finish! Gone! The Alba, whipped in, good ball! Oh! Christian Kalina, a save to save the season!
Crowd belongs to Charlotte! And Charlotte FC, if the results hold, have clinched its first playoff berth in club history!
Welcome, bienvenidos, and tia ora. I'm Nick Finelli, and you're listening to the Charlotte FC podcast, where we talk beyond the pitch with the fascinating people that work for and around the club. Today on our show, I talk with Charlotte FC defender Bill Tuiloma. Bill has had an amazing football journey, starting with leaving New Zealand at age 18 for the opportunity to play professionally in France. Bill shared some of his adventures, how he approaches his craft, and more. Just a note, we recorded this episode a week before the opener while the club was in Coachella, and there were some audio transmission disruptions. Enjoy Bill Tuiloma. Bill, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Do you prefer Kiora or Tolofa?
A bit of both. Let's do both.
Bit of both. Okay.
Yep.
For those of you who don't know, I did this kind of the hello greeting in New Zealand and then also in Samoan. All right. So usually on our show, we have the guests kind of do an elevator pitch to introduce themselves to like how they would to a complete stranger and kind of tell them where they're from and just like who they are. So go at it.
All right. Yep. My name is Bill Tuiloma. Born and raised in New Zealand. I am from only child, and living a young dream of playing football, as Americans call it, soccer. But that's me.
Yeah. And you say soccer. In New Zealand, they say soccer because of the Australian rules football?
No, we say football. We say football for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's been almost a year since you joined the club to the day here, and it was a big move for Charlotte and for you. And coming up from Portland, it was like almost a $900,000 GAM deal, which is a pretty big deal in MLS. So I know you've been here for a year, but I don't think we've seen the best of Bill yet. Is that true?
The best of Bill is coming for sure. He's coming for sure, and I am excited. Obviously, joining Charlotte, what a city, what a organized, great team as well. So we, been in the preseason as you know, and we've been working very hard, and we're very excited to kick off the first game at home in front of 70,000 plus fans, which is unbelievable as well. So we're very excited. Yeah.
We haven't really seen you out in Coachella because you've had a hamstring issue, and you got that in the Sporting KC match down in Miami. And so I guess you've been working with TK, Tyler Knight, to kind of recovery. How's the recovery going, and when will we see you at 100%?
Recovery is going very with obviously with TK working with him. He's he's on top of everything, and is very proficient what he can do and getting me back quick and early, but at the same time we're being steady and being cautious because see around the corner. I am back in training tomorrow I believe. So yeah, I'm very excited to be back, but at the same time we're going to be steady and be cautious of a hamstring injury. It's a tough one to monitor, and that's why TK is there and the medical staff to help me and see the day by day.
When do you feel like you'll be at 100% and kind of back in that rotation?
I think I'll feel 100 sometime next week, or if not Monday. But at this moment, I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling strong and getting back to where I'm supposed to be fitness wise and being back with the squad. I'm in the squad right now, and excited, and everyone's happy that I'm back. Getting close to my full potential of being back in the squad.
Great. So Tell me, how did you spend your off season? I know it was a long season, but what did you do this off season?
Yeah, I went back to New Zealand. Haven't spent a lot of time back home. It's been a while. I think it's been like 3 years since I haven't spent Christmas and New Year's with my family. So going back home was amazing, and it was just a good feeling just to be home and around your family and cousins, friends. It's a good reset, and then going back into preseason.
So, how are you viewing last season personally? Because you came in, kind of had to fill a role right away. You had a thigh injury after kind of playing for a little bit, and then with all the kind of changes, didn't really get back into that starting 11, and so we kind of people probably forgot about that Bill was here and that he was a big part of what we were trying to build.
Yeah, obviously, last year didn't go as planned, but that's last year, and I'm just very excited to kick off this. And it's I've been working very hard, and everyone's been working, you know, to get into their peak performance before the home opener starts. So, in a good and like I said before, we've been hard, especially with the new gaffer and what he wants us to do on the pitch, and it's really gelling together. Uh,
Last
but yeah.
season, when you first came in here, you said some of these things, and these are like kind of quotes. You said some of your strengths were awareness of the ball and the players, smart positioning, and then comfort on the ball and communication. And those exact things are the things that we hear your gaffer, Dean Smith, saying, like, this is what I want my players to be able to do. So, what has Dean asked or expressed that he wants from you to do? And how do you see your role with Charlotte this season?
Um, for sex, being vocal, being organized, especially when we are attacking, making sure, like you said, you quoted that, being aware of who needs to be marking who from the back, because as defenders, as centre backs, we basically see everything, and we have to communicate to that to our fullbacks or midfielders to to stay or to go left because there's a player there, and just being prepared, to attack the balls with if, attacking players trying to do a breakaway, and we all as centre backs we are prepared to stop that counter attack.
Right. So we had a new situation for you last season. You've actually had 4 different kind of stops along your journey, but just kind of want to talk about like newness in your approach to that. For instance, a new team last year. This year you get a new coach. Sometimes you have new cities and new situations. How do you approach newness? For instance, like how do you, even when you go to casual things and not just in sport, but how do you get people to know who you are, and how do you get them to know them?
Yeah. I think that's just part of football and part of life, and part of the job that we do is like you said, and going to a new club, going to a new environment, going to brand new. Okay, so yeah, like, it's part of football, part of life. But I've had 3 changes from going from New Zealand to France, and then France to Portland, and Portland to Charlotte. So I'm familiar with all the change, and the question is on how do how do you get people to recognize you? It's on the field. It's on the field where you perform, and off the field where join in communities, or you go to do little football camps, and you show yourself around. That way fans know who you are as a person off the field, and they already know you on the field as well. So yeah.
So are you the kind of person that like wants to make sure when you're at a new place you get to kind of march around and kind of meet every single person, or do you kind of just find a couple people and like, hey, these are people I can hang with?
Friendly guy. If someone wants to come talk to me, I'll say hi, or a fan, I'll say hi, and have a little conversation about football, anything, or whatever they want to talk about. But yeah, I'm the person that's just I'm a relaxed kind of guy and just chill. I don't bite. If you want to have a little chat, we can have a little chat. So yeah.
Now, as far as like the coaching staff and players, are you kind of the same way too, or are you kind of seeking? Like, for instance, when Dean came, you're like, I want to be able to have some time with him. Is that something you like to do, or you just wait back and?
Yeah, if I have a question, I'll go up to the gaffer and ask him about a situation in the game or any of the coaching stuff. I'm that. I think we all have our own ways to improve our game, and each day we're all improving and we're all learning as well. So, yeah, I'm not a guy that would stay back. If I have a question, I'll go up to them and ask them about a situation in the game or what can I do better here in the game situation. So yeah.
Nice. So in Portland, you had such an impact there. I mean, I still see fans writing stuff about you. You had a strong connection with not only the organization, but the community. You were known as a player that played with a lot of emotion, but you also had fire and control time. You're known for your set pieces, right? Billy Bangers, right?
So
Um, can you talk about just your time there and just what it was like leaving a place that kind of you bonded so much? And then how do you recapture that here?
yeah, well, you basically just explained everything about Portland and my our relationship. But yeah, Portland was the fans, the atmosphere, the Timbers Army, and even also outside of the stadium at the community was we were very I would say it's a soccer in Portland, and I'll say that Charlotte is as another soccer city as well for sure. And yeah, obviously scored a few goals and set pieces and all that. So, and that's what I want to bring to Charlotte, and bring back the Billy Bangers like you said. So yeah.
So have you had conversations with the coaching staff about getting you into more of those set piece situations where you can be on the ball there, or you
Yeah,
just kind of sit back and wait?
I'm I'm pretty sure they're aware of a threat in set pieces, but at the moment, since being injured, I've been focusing on getting my hamstring strong and getting my fitness back uh, into the top level that I need to be in to be ready to step on the field. But yeah, I've been with set pieces and we're doing well. We're just like I said, each day we're learning and we're improving and being ready for the home opener.
Do you have a sweet spot on set pieces, like a certain spot you're like, this is my group?
Yeah, it's either a free kick or a set piece from a cross or something like that. So I the coaching staff have an ideal spot where they'll put me in to attack the ball.
All right. So I also hear that there's a little trio français on the team with you and Addy and Brecht. And then I
No,
guess we now have Hamidi
these are
and
fourth
Jabril.
one. These are fourth one, yeah.
What?
Oh, these
Yeah,
five now. So yeah.
yeah. There's five now, but you and Addy and Breck. I hear Breck is one that's always talking, and Addy sometimes he says stuff, and sometimes he's like, we can't even talk about Spy Game today. That kind of stuff. So can you share some good stories about the three of y'all hanging out?
Yeah, no, it's them two are great. Yeah, we always always hanging out, always having a good laugh, and we always make some jokes and here and there. But yeah, at the end of the day, just they're just good human beings. Not only just them, but the whole group of Charlotte FC boys. They just great people, players off the field. Yeah, Adele and Brett is those are the guys I hang out with and have a good laugh. But yeah, Adele will make some jokes every now and then, but Brett is the one that will keep chatting your ear off until you can't listen no more. But yeah, it's a fun group, and now we have Jabril and coming in, but we made sure that he's welcome, and he's making little jokes as well. So it feels like we've known him for years, but we've only known him for 2 days, and he's always already smiling and laughing at
Yeah.
our jokes. So yeah.
Now, do you feel since you kind of all are speaking in French that you're kind of talking in code and nobody knows what you're talking about?
Yeah, it's funny because when sitting at dinner table, we still we have boys that are like the likes of Jalen. Jalen's another good another guy that I'll hang out a few times, and he's just sitting there on the table, just like trying to figure out what we were saying. But after that, I'll translate it to Jay because they don't understand, and they want to know the joke and all that. So I'll translate it into English.
Cool. Talking about joking, everybody, when asked, says, "Who's the funny person on the team?" Bill, right? That's their first response. So you're kind of known as this kind of funny guy in the locker room, but you're like intense
Who
on
said
the
that?
field and kind of calm. Like how does all that mix? How can you be like this guy like this on the inside, but on the outside you're like cool as cucumber and like fired up?
Yeah, I mean, on the field it's our job. You got to switch on. You can't, especially being in a game, you can't lose focus for that 1 second. And that 1 second can cost you. That's why we do this. Like I said, when we step on the field, is our job. When we're off the field, it's back to being ourselves. But yeah, that's it. Just it's like I said, it's my job, and once you step on that pitch, it's game time. And then it's game time till the referee blows the whistle, and yeah.
Do you feel like what you can do in the locker room is help loosen people up that may be like nervous or anxious about things? Do you feel like that's kind of part of what you bring to people?
Um, yeah, but like I said, we have a great group of players, and even it's everyone's having a good laugh, and everyone's smiling. And like I said, once we step on the field, it's our job to get the job done.
Nice. Now, kind of on a more serious note, what types of personalities motivate you? The kind that like will get you into your flow and kind of get you to your best self, that kind of like internally gets you going. What kind of people do that to you?
What kind of people? I mean, the first two people that comes to mind is my parents. They've sacrificed a lot for me, and so they have my mom and dad, and obviously my family as well. That big support. So yeah, them two are the ones that drive me to go every day and train hard and give it my all. Yeah.
Are they the kind of just like more of like your cheerleaders, like, hey, you can do it, you can keep on doing it, that kind of
Yeah.
one? Or they're like, hey, we saw you do this, we know you can do better, do it this way this time? Are they more
Yeah.
like demanding and
Yeah,
picky on things?
the first part is my mom, and the second part is the dad. Is my dad. They'll they'll tell me on little he'll tell me on little things of of a pass or of a header that I could do a little bit better. So, but yeah,
Mhm. um,
good
do
good
you
mixture.
have, yeah, good mix to have parents that offset
Yeah,
each other, right?
yeah,
uh, do you have any, with all these young players, do you have anybody that's come up to you and kind of like almost like you're noticing they're asking you to kind of be their mentor, or they're asking you lots of questions? Because even though you're a young age, you've been a professional athlete for 10 years. You started at an early age. So are these younger players coming to you?
yeah. The likes of Nympha. He's a an upcoming superstar. And also Jelani Forbesy. He's asked me a couple questions as well. So it's great to see these young players who are willing to learn, who are willing to improve. Congrats to Nympha for scoring scores goal yesterday. So I was very proud of him, and yeah, we odds and I think that could help a key or a young player. I would I'll go up to them and let them know that we are here to help them out. So yeah.
Speaking of that, I mean, firsthand from being a young player, you were in New Zealand as a teenager, and then all of a sudden you're on a Liga One team in France for Marseille. Can you remember what that was like at that age? And like what you learned from it, like 10 years later, like what that
Yeah,
meant to you?
yeah. Signing my first contract in France, dream come true. I remember, I was actually driving. My mom was actually driving me at the U20 camp for New Zealand, and we were preparing to Turkey, I think, Turkey in the U20 World Cup. And yeah, that's when I got I think it was a call or an email saying that there was a contract set for me, and yeah, it was just a dream. It's at a young age, I wanted to be a professional footballer, and came true. And I flew over to France, not knowing zero language of French or the knowledge of what was France. I was just a kid in New Zealand that never really thought of flying out to that type of country.
And you did it all this by yourself. Like nobody came with you or anything like that. You're just like, oh, all right, you're on a new
Yeah,
place.
yeah. My manager called me like, "Hey, you're about to go to Marseille after the World Cup," and there I was in France.
Man, that must have been scary.
Yeah, it was a very big culture change. Obviously, like I said, language, the people, the food, but yeah, obviously living there for like 4.5 years, you start to know things, you start to learn the language, and like I said, after living there for 4.5 years, you're basically French type
Right.
type of person, yeah.
Did that change you as a player too? Not only as a person, but as a player? Did you
It
come?
helped me a lot. Yeah, it helped me a lot. Improving my game, like I said, each day we're always learning, no matter what age, we're still learning on what we can improve. Yeah, being in France, it boost my qualities, being around quality players, the likes of Dimitri Payet and Andre Gignac and Andre Ayew, and them players that you just see on TV, but now you are on the same pitch as them training.
Nice, nice. Now, I'm always interested in, talk a little bit about New Zealand and talk a little bit about working in or living in France. The places that you live and the people you encounter kind of change how you are as a person, kind of mold you into next steps. Are there any stories from each of those places? So if we went like New Zealand, France, Portland, and now Charlotte, are there certain things that kind of stick in your mind about each of those places that's distinct? Like, hey, I got this from here.
I'd say my home club in New Zealand. I literally lived like 5 minutes from it, and every day I'll walk over there and kick a ball with my dad. And I think that's the one of the main, probably the main spot that'll pop over my head when I think about New Zealand, where it's basically where it all started. Started there at the age of 5. So yeah.
Wow. Did you visit when you went home to that area?
Yeah,
Does it still exist?
definitely visit my old club, and it's expanded, which is pretty cool. And they've renovated a few stuff in the clubhouse, which is awesome.
Nice. And then what would you say specifically about France that was the kind of the defining thing that changed you as either a player or a person?
I think as a person, I didn't know the language. It was something that I had to overcome, and something that I had to really learn if I wanted to communicate to players. I know like there were players that speak English, but the majority of of players were speaking French. So that was pretty to learn. It's a very tough language. I know these other languages that are probably more tougher than French, but I say French is like you learn. And then obviously being around the players who have unreal quality. Like I said, I mentioned Andre Gignac, Mario Lemina, who's at Wolves, Dimitri Payet, all them players that I, was just watching on TV, and now I'm there. So, yeah.
Yeah. Now, when you were learning the language, did you just learn by just being immersed, or you're like, I need to take
So
classes, I need to do books, I need
yeah,
to.
so everything was said. It was sort. I had a teacher that was a one-on-one teacher, and I'll train, and then after training, I'll go to and have an hour of a class. So I'll have it 3 times. So yeah, it took me probably about 8 months to get the basics, and then obviously, living in a country that the rest will come along.
Cool. And then what about in Portland? Is there a moment there that kind of sticks with you?
Yeah.
The Timbers Army, and just like there must be some sort of energy that they gave you and kind of pumped you to another level.
Passionate, you can hear them throughout the whole game. The chants never stopped, and just their energy. We could like literally feed off it, and it just boosts up your energy. And then I remember the home opener in Charlotte. I looked at that side again as army of the Timbers Army. So I'm telling you that the Charlotte fans are unreal, and the support that we get from the fans in the city is so it's amazing.
And so, how have you been acclimated to the city of Charlotte? Because again, another different place to live besides New Zealand, which is different. France and Portland's totally different from Charlotte in many ways.
Yeah, Charlotte, love the city. City's fun. Weather's very different to compared to Portland. A lot more sunshine, a lot hotter as well than Portland. So still getting and with the heat change and the humidity. So, but at the end of the day, if the sun's out, I can't complain. It's just only the heat.
Yeah, definitely. The humidity really gets you, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So we know you have lots of stuff that you do with Charlotte FC. We have required activities, for the club and stuff like that. But there's probably things that you do soccer related when you're not required to do things. What do you do for yourself, soccer related, when you're not required to do something for Charlotte FC? What kind of things do you do?
Soccer related. After training, we get our massages, we get our treatments and all that. But then, when I go home, I just want to, relax and rest up for the next day. Don't want to go out and do more stuff because, don't want to get fatigued for the next day. And, and it's just won't feel good as in training, and then coaching staff will be, you know, having a question mark on their heads about, oh, why is Bill so tired? Did he do anything, do any extra training, or did he do anything like that? So, but yeah, no, just relax, rest up for the next day.
Were you always that regimented, even at 18?
Well, yeah. Now, when you get older, now you start to know that your body needs rest. I know at the age of 18 and so much energy, could do double sessions or triple sessions of football. But now that you know your body and now you need some rest to to pick it up again the next day.
So what are some things you do for yourself to kind of get away from soccer?
For that, I play a fairly bit of golf if when I can. Just it's just something that gives me peace, and it's something that takes me away from football. Also something that I'm very competitive in as well. That I like to improve my game, and yeah, golf and Netflix, and and hanging around the house.
Particular shows that interest you?
No, just I actually finished watching Game of Thrones again. I finished
Okay.
I just finished a couple of weeks ago.
That
Just
seems
right
to be a
now.
Charlotte FC favorite. That's the third person I've heard say they rewatched
Oh, really? Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, Game of Thrones, one of the the best shows and on Netflix, and everyone talks about it as well. So yeah, finished that. I've watched a few couple of these. Ready Player One. I watched that I think a couple of days ago. So big. I think I'm more big on movies than shows. Apart from Game of Thrones.
Sci-fi, dramas, certain things kind of you grab towards, or just
Yeah, action. Yeah, a bit of everything, but more into action and thriller,
Yeah.
and also yeah.
And back to your golf, what's your handicap?
I am a 8 handicap.
Oh, not bad. Not bad at
So
all.
not bad. Could be better, but it's not bad.
Maybe your next career. You can always play when you're
Yeah.
older, right?
Who knows? Who knows?
Can you share maybe a moment in your life where you're surprised to learn the impact you had on someone else?
Oh gosh, yeah. An impact to someone,
Yeah, like
someone
they came
else.
up to you and they kind of, spilled it out and they said, you meant this much to me and you did this or whatever. And you were
I
like, whoa,
think.
I didn't realize I had that impact on you.
Uh, I think I'm not sure. Um, I don't know if once, but it was Alex Grieve, who's in Dundee in Scotland. He played at my club in New Zealand, and he was like the next player to leave that club and go into in a professional environment,
Mhm.
and then he got called up to the All Whites, and then just to see him there, and we were talking about, yeah, he saw me when I was my club was Broken and United, and he was at that club, and it just felt like I created a path for kids in New Zealand and for kids and Broken and United to show them that it is possible. A player from New Zealand can go out to Europe or out to the world and be and be living that dream that they've been dreaming about when they were kids. So I think that, yeah, and just for him, just to see him being selected in the All Whites, and for him to have me there, and for him to know that I came from the same club as him. It's pretty cool to see that.
That's nice. That's cool. Now, do you have a moment in your playing career, that you would just like, man, I could rewind and play this like over and over again? Maybe something you did or an event?
Uh, I say could be anything like on the field, like a
Yeah.
goal or something like that. I think I'd say my goal against Toronto, the of
From
Portland.
the right side there.
Yeah, from the
And
right
you,
side. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I'll say
that was
some
a
of the
big
free
moment.
kicks. I'll say some of the free kicks, but we didn't win those games, unfortunately. So, but
Yeah, you got to combine. It has to have a good feeling, good ending to
yeah,
it. And
good ending
yeah.
to it. Yeah.
Besides, of course, going to a place that you didn't speak the language and going after your dream, besides that, is there any other scary thing that you've done in your life that you're like, I can't believe I did that?
I'd say leaving my parents. Um, Definitely, I say that because being the only child, I couldn't imagine how hard it was gonna be for my parents, to have the only child leave them and leave the country and
Yeah.
go into a different country that you know didn't know anything about it. So I'd say
Now,
that was a pretty scary moment, but I think being going out there and going to experience a different country and different, it's a lot as a person, and that matured into someone that's done it and that's been into spots where you wouldn't think of being in there. So yeah, I say that moment was pretty scary. Yeah, scary but
yeah.
fun. Excited to
Yeah.
go be a professional. Yeah.
Do you get to spend, I know you just recently went home, but do your parents ever come to where you are?
Yeah, I plan for them. They haven't visited yet, but I plan for them to come this. That's a plan sort out for them to come out here and experience, the atmosphere at the Bank of America. So yeah,
Nice. What would you say is the hardest part about being a professional athlete?
hard part. Oof, that's a good question. Uh, just, hmm, that is a good question. Hardest part. Uh, I say, we're always working hard every day.
I mean, do you feel
Wake.
like you have a life outside of soccer? Because some people would say, well, that's all I do is play
Yeah,
soccer and I love it, but it's also like I don't get this
yeah,
other life that people
yeah. It is. So it is a different life. Always you know, waking up, training for a couple hours, and then you have the rest of the day to relax and refuel and do go do a bit of shopping or go for a walk or walk the dog. play golf. But yeah, I'm just very grateful that I'm living this life that I've dreamt of, and I think the hard part, I don't know if there's a hard part in it because I'm loving what I do. Um, but yeah, like you said, outside of football, life is good, and just like I said, playing golf or relaxing or hanging out with Brett and a deal,
Yeah.
have some jokes around. But yeah, um,
Does
I
somebody
don't.
does somebody make food? Is there a cook in the trio, or do y'all just get food somewhere?
Apparently Brett is a good chef, but I haven't he hasn't invited me yet to go over to his house. He's probably gonna laugh at this because he has invited me a few times, but but
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm not
apparently
taking them
he's a
up
good
on the offer.
yeah, apparently he's a good chef. So I'm a definitely go over to house and see what he's got. So he can make a good pasta. He can make good coffee as well. Not gonna lie, it's pretty good. He's improving. He's improving. He's a big coffee guy. I like coffee too, but yeah, he has his own machine at his house, so it's pretty cool.
Oh wow! Now you said walk the dog, so you got a dog?
Yep, got a dog. He's a Samoyed, big white fluffy dog. So yeah,
Oh, cool.
yeah.
All right. So what would you like to do that you have not done yet, just in your life? Could be a bucket list thing or a soccer thing.
What would I like to do that I haven't done yet? I might be crazy about skydiving.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Like real
skydiving.
skydiving, not in one of those
Like real
places that just
skydiving,
blow you
but
up.
I'm so scared. But yeah, skydiving. Yeah, something I
Okay.
would like to do, but would probably never do.
Right. Right. What is something you wish people or fans knew about you that they don't know?
uh, that I did rugby growing up as a kid from New Zealand. Yeah, that
It's
I
a big
did play.
thing there, isn't it?
Yeah, I did play a lot of rugby.
Now, was there ever a chance that rugby was going to be your career, or it was soccer all the way, or football?
Uh, I think if I kept at it and kept playing rugby, yes, but I just had a different love for football. So yeah, football is the sport that I fell in love with.
And were you always a defender, or did you play lots of different roles?
I was a right winger. I was a right winger. I was a kicker, in midfield, right back, and then center back is the number one spot.
It's where you landed. Did that kind of start and develop before you got your professional career, or was it more kind of that's what they molded you into doing? And
Yeah, started son when I went to France when I moved over there. Started as a midfielder, and then I slowly got pushed back to center back. That's how they molded me as being a center back.
cool. All right, we have one last part of our show. It's kind of quick answers. We call it stoppage time.
It's stoppage time.
Must do ritual or habit each day.
Must do ritual habit each day. Coffee. Good coffee.
Good coffee. And do you have a type?
Any, not just coffee is one of my favorite ones in Charlotte. So we're just 2 minutes away from my house. So yeah,
Okay. And
good
then do
cappuccino
you
or,
get,
or a latte.
you just get a cappuccino? Okay.
Yeah,
If you were to have any other career, what would it be and why?
rugby, and because it's in New Zealand and every kid grew up watching rugby and playing rugby.
So you'd stay in sports, or you'd have
I'll
your,
stay in
your,
sport.
your
Yeah.
later golf career.
Oh yeah, or golf. Yeah,
All right. Favorite unplugged activity? Sounds like I might know this, but
golf. You already know the answer.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's probably just golf. All right. Do you have a go-to snack when you're watching like other football games?
Popcorn. Do you like popcorn?
Regular, butter, caramel,
Regular popcorn. Yeah, I can't have any butter on that. No, too greasy.
two grease. Do you find starting a project or finishing one more gratifying?
Finishing.
All right. And then I probably already know this one, but what recharges you? What gets you
Okay.
really just like, I'm ready to Do it.
Yeah, mom and dad.
Nice. Well, Bill Tuiloma, it was a pleasure talking to you. Thanks for coming on our show and spending some time. I know we're going to see our best Bill this year, so good luck with getting recovered and seeing you out there at center back next to your pal Addy.
Yeah, there you go. Appreciate it, mate. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Good luck.
Nice.
First of all, I want to thank Bill for his time and sharing more about his life. Football has been his life. Talking to him made me appreciate his unique journey, as well as have an understanding of many of these young players who have risked and sacrificed so much for the opportunity to play football as a career. Bill should be healthy and near 100% going into the third or fourth match of the season. Let's hope we can experience and see the best Bill on the pitch soon. P.S. Breck, I would love to join you chefing it up for Bill and Addie for your next dinner. This has been the Charlotte FC Podcast. Join me, Nick Finelli, for next week's episode as I talk with Major League Soccer's Director of Emerging Ventures, Mihir Kumar, to find out more about what is in the future for the MLS ecosystem and how technology plays a role. Please continue to follow us on X, Instagram, and YouTube at CLTFC Podcast. We also would love you to 5-star us on your favorite podcast platform. Enjoy your week.